God Wars Future Past is a game that grew on me over time. When I first started playing it, I couldn't help but compare it to Disgaea 5, which I'd recently been playing on the Switch. I realise it's not fair to compare a Vita game with a game made for the PS4 and Switch, but since the gameplay was so similar, it's hard not to think of Disgaea when playing God Wars. As I kept playing though, I unlocked new mechanics in the game and started to appreciate it more and more. God Wars is about a girl named Kaguya whose purpose in life is to be sacrificed to the Mount Fuji volcano if it should ever erupt. The volcano erupting is a sign of the god's displeasure, but it has been calm ever since her sister Sakuya had been sacrificed years earlier. She is rescued from captivity by her childhood friend, and they go on a quest to find her mother who's been missing since the death of Sakuya. Along the way they run into unfriendly gods and demons and are joined on their quest by a variety of characters. I started the game with English voices on and the voice acting was so bad. It kind of made me dislike the characters. I changed the voices to Japanese with English subtitles and I found it to be a massive improvement. The English dub was distracting, and without it I could just focus on what the characters were saying, and I ended up enjoying the story and characters and was eager to see what happened next. If you've played a Disgaea game, then the gameplay will feel familiar. The gameplay revolves around you controlling a party of characters through turn-based battles on an isometric battlefield. Each party member can perform melee attacks, but you can also unlock special skills like magic or heavy attacks. You assign each party member a job and a sub-job, and more classes can be unlocked over time. When you perform an action in a battle, even if that action is just to use an item, you earn job points and you use those job points to unlock new skills and abilities for each character. You also have a variety of weapons, shields, armors and accessories to assign. The level of customization is massive. Depending on how you want to develop your characters, you can focus on leveling specific skills or enhancing certain stats, or you can build your characters to have a combination, for example warriors with magic abilities. The amount of customization was a plus point for me, and added a lot more depth to the game and to how I played it. I found that magic was so much more powerful than melee attacks. I ended up using my magic users the most, and as a result, they were the ones that leveled up significantly faster than my warriors. Now you may ask, why didn't I just focus on using my fighters to balance out the leveling? Well, the game is very hard. There are some difficulty spikes in the game that pretty much require you to grind and level up. You can only play each story level once, but along your journey you encounter shrines where you can take optional quests. You can replay the quests multiple times to level up. It did get repetitive playing some of the quests several times, but having your team level up and gain new abilities made it feel worth it. I was playing on normal and found levels took at least 15 minutes to beat. It felt a little too long for this type of game, partly because the enemies were strong that even having a well-leveled parties, enemies took quite a few hits to go down. It took me over 12 hours to finish just chapter 1. This included finishing all the optional quests, but I did start to feel the game dragging towards the end of the chapter. The reason this isn't a full review is because I haven't finished the whole game yet. Given how long the game is, you're going to get a lot of time out of it. I'll hopefully be able to come back and finish the game, but right now I've got a lot going on and so I'm going to have to settle for finishing just chapter 1. The music was really fitting with the game. It was in the style of classical Japanese music that just works for the game and the story. The graphics were okay. It looks a bit blurry on the Vita screen and the colours look kind of washed out. The battle animations were good, but the characters in general moved stiffly. None of this was a deal breaker for me because the gameplay is what's most important, but the game won't win awards for how it looks. Overall, I've really enjoyed playing God Wars. I felt it was kind of rocky at first, but I liked really digging into the job, classes, customization and abilities. That's probably me being weird and OCD, wanting to unlock every skill and try every class. It's a long game, and if the rest of the chapters are as long as the first, you're probably getting over 40 hours of playtime out of it. The story was interesting and kept me playing. I think Disgaea 5 is a better game, but I'm still glad I played God Wars, and I hope to come back to it later on. So, what's your favourite strategy RPG? And are you planning to pick up God Wars? Leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.